Food waste is a serious problem that can literally be avoided. We don't have to have food waste, nor should we. Let's talk about it back in a minute. No, it really and truly saddens me to think of so many people who really need to eat food because they are literally hungry. And I'm not talking about garden variety hunger, like, oh, gee, it's a few minutes past my normal dinner time hunger. No, I'm talking about people who are literally like starving. But that is another show. Now let's talk about garden variety and ways that we can avoid food waste. Hi, my name is Jan. I love to help people keep some of their hard earned money. And it does concern me. Food waste is a big problem all over the place. It's just unnecessary and can be totally avoided. So tonight I outlined a few bullet points of steps. I'm going to put on my teacher glasses. I hope you don't mind. And I don't want to miss a beat. So I'm going to read them off. Just saying, just saying. So let's go. Okay. At one time, I myself was a single mom and a teacher. I was married. The marriage didn't work out at that time. I'm remarried now. The marriage did not work out at that time. And there was a period of time when I was a single mom and a school teacher in a private school. Let me tell you something. Those private schools back then did not pay well. I learned the hard way through experience of how to stretch a buck. But in a way, that's a good thing because there are some skills that they just help you out forever and ever and ever. Okay. Step one. Now, this is important, and a lot of people do it. We've all done it. If you are on a really squeaky tight budget, truly do this. Buy what your family really actually enjoys eating. Buy what your family actually uses. I don't care if even if I see a 10 for 10 sale on something, if it is something that my family is not going to enjoy eating or I don't like to eat, let me explain to you. To me, that is a waste of cash. It is a waste of money and might actually end up becoming a waste of food. We do not like food waste. That is a really not good thing. It is a bad thing. Now, here's a way that we can maximize things. And I'll give you an example. All right. Here's a way to stretch that favorite meal to become an extra meal or two. Example, I personally, and it's true, enjoy my homemade Italian meatballs. I do. I love them. They're good. I also happen to enjoy meatball soup. So what I will do is I will make, let's say, for example, a pound of meatballs. Okay. I can make the miniature. I can make it medium size. I can make it bigger, whatever I want. Does not matter. One night I will have, for example, a homemade meatball sub. All it is meatballs with a little bit of jarred sauce on it and throw some shredded Parmesan cheese on it, toast up the Italian bread or garlic bread, put it on that. You got yourself a sub on the cheap. But I'll also reserve half of those meatballs for another night. What I will do with those, I will turn that into either a meatball soup or a meatball stew. By doing that, oh my gosh, that is like using up my food exponentially. And I get a couple to three other meals by doing that. I really have stretched a buck. And with the stew, it's so easy. You put your favorite sauce. Again, I like to work with tomato sauce. Put that in my slow cooker with some nice fresh string beans, fresh potatoes, onions, carrots. It's good for me. I like it. And it fills me up. And it is on the cheap. Zero food waste. Zero. Next, here's an area where a lot of people make a mistake. Fresh produce. Fresh produce is the one thing that seems to go fast in the garbage. A lot of people. Why? They overspend. May they overestimate their need for one, or they might buy some fresh produce that the whole family is like, they really don't care for. So be careful when buying fresh produce. And many times people let perfectly good intended to use fresh produce, fresh fruits and vegetables turn into waste. Buy enough, but not too much. Only you can figure that out. The rhythm of your family's taste buds and food usage. That's something that only you could figure out. But I could tell you this much. If you see that fruit or vegetable, the fresh ones are starting to turn that into a fruit or vegetable smoothie. It will not go to waste. You get the nutrition and your money was saved and utilized properly and zero food waste. We do not like food waste around here. That's one thing I know for sure, especially all of us in the frugal community. That's for sure. Now, here's a good strategy when it comes to fresh fruits and vegetables. For example, apples are a really good deal because it takes quite a while for an apple to turn bad. I mean, like quite a while. Put them in your crisper. To me, they take like a really long time and I get to use them up. Oranges, however, on the other hand, for me, I don't know about you, and I noticed this lately, oranges seem to decay a lot faster. I don't know why. I have no idea why, but they do. So be careful with oranges. Bananas are a wonderful thing at all stages. If you buy underripened bananas, you're buying more time for it to sit on your counter, for example, before it ripens, which is kind of good. And there are some people that actually prefer underripe bananas, which kind of startles me a little bit, but they like it better that way. But to each his own. I personally like them kind of ripe, like not extremely ripe, not, totally blackened. And those totally blackened ones are really, really good for banana bread. Nothing goes to waste when it comes to bananas. Bananas freeze beautifully, they freeze easily, and you could just store them in the freezer. They're not going to go to waste. So I strongly suggest bananas. I know, I know. And they also make a fantastically smooth smoothie. Bananas, that consistency as a smoothie just makes it like, I don't know, like a really good milkshake type of a feel to it. Next, I don't know why canned and frozen foods get such a bad rap. Okay, when it comes to like the sodium content, you could buy the lowest sodium option in the can, or you could just take it one step further and just rinse it out before you use it. So to me, having those canned goods sure beats throwing away fresh produce. I'm just saying. And as far as the frozen ones go, you can use them as you need it. One of the best kept secrets is to buy a bag. If you use it, if your family likes it, consider buying a bag or a can of mixed vegetables, especially the frozen ones, because at any time you make a soup or a stew, you could just take out what you need as you go along. Just use what you need. Throw it into your slow cooker, for example, or if you're simmering a pot of soup on the stove. Okay. To me, these are really money saving steps, and they definitely help so much in avoiding food waste. I want to mention stockpiles for a minute. Food stockpiles. Let's take a minute about this. I have said this, others have said it at home with the Lynn Wilson channel, Everyday Living. Lynn Wilson has said it. Our stockpiles are not decorations. A while back, someone was like mentioning to me they were a little bit anxious to use their own stockpile. And I kind of felt a little sorry for the person because the person didn't give themselves permission enough to use their own stockpile. That is the reason why the stockpile is there. Look at it this way. To anyone who feels badly about shopping in their own pantry and shopping in their own stockpile, would you prefer that going to waste? Would you prefer that money that you spent, hard-earned cash, going into the garbage can or being wasteful? Again, we dislike food waste. We try to avoid food waste at all costs. Another tip, check out your inventory in your refrigerator. Keep it up to date. If you have leftovers, I call them do-overs. And a lot of folks in my community, in the Joyful Savers community, we call them do-overs. Some people dislike the term leftovers. Leftovers, do-overs, to me, I call it a bargain. I call it a second meal on the cheap. So I have no problem with it. Get into the habit, or at least I encourage everyone to get into the habit. Every night after dinner, let's say you did not finish your fruit and your vegetables, for example. It could be fruit too. Get a plastic container, put it away. At week's end, check on your refrigerator inventory. I have a habit. I like to check my refrigerator every single Friday. To me, it makes life easier. And I could tell you this, when I skip going through my refrigerator on Fridays and let it go a couple of days, it makes the job a little harder. So just imagine if you let a few weeks go by. Check on your refrigerator at least once a week. Check to make sure that are there things that need to be used up right away. Again, we do not like food waste. We really, really don't. Well, I want to thank you for your time. And I want to encourage you to stay challenged. And if you haven't started your dollar a day savings or your $5 challenge, I'm going to close with this picture, this little video. Have a wonderful day. And I hope to see everyone again real soon. And if you found value in this video, dare I forget, please smash down the like button. Take good care now.